Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing tonight? Broken is on her way. She's coming. I figured I'd go ahead and start it up. So instead of waiting on her, because we already late waiting on her. So I thought I'd go ahead and get the ball rolling while she's messing with her phone trying to get up here. Hey, Mark. Hey, Southern Lady. Hey, Blues. I think Blues Girl I saw in here. Yeah, Blues Girl. How are y'all doing tonight? Mark's been here acting up, I see, tonight already, hadn't he? um, yeah, I've been thinking about Auntie JoJo all day too, girl, Southern lady. She's been on my mind all day. I was telling Broken about it earlier when we was on the phone. I was saying it was so sad to be married that long and then have your husband do something like that. It's terrible. Um, you're doing good, Southern lady. I see you had some you had some people come look at your house, so that's great. Add to stage. Hello, hello, hello. Are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. How
Hang
you?
on, let me turn off the YouTube. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're fine. Southern lady keeping you in line, Mark. About time somebody try to keep you in line, boy.
Mark, are you acting up? My sweet little Mark don't act up, y'all. Don't be talking about him now.
Shoot, that boy be acting up all the time. We have to keep our eye on him.
It's my baby. Y'all better leave him alone. I'll get him, Mark.
Maybe that's a good thing, Southern lady. Maybe you'll sell that. You'll get that house sold by showing so many people. That's good.
You will. You'll get it sold. It won't take long at all.
Hey, Christina. Hey, Molly Lollipops. Molly
Hel-
Lollipops.
Hello, everybody.
So, how are y'all doing tonight? She has cool hair. Who's got cool hair? Christina.
Yeah, who has cool hair?
Cool hair. My hair is getting a little gray in there. I think I'm gonna have to dye my hair, y'all. I see a little bit on the sides, a little bit. I said, "Oh Lord."
Mine is like
Hey, Jamie
when,
Mae.
when I part mine, and look for the gray hair. I seen some the other day. Oh, I call you. Do you have the same? Ah,
I was seeing
oh,
20.
Mark, do you have my new telephone number? You probably don't have my new telephone number. I'll give you my new telephone number. I'll text it to you.
Oh, okay, Christina.
And I think um, uh, I'll text you tonight, okay? And tell you.
Yeah, you trying to hide out from my Marky?
And tell you my new. I forgot to text you my new telephone number. Remember when I had changed my number?
Yeah. Hey, Betty
Yeah.
Bamboo.
Hi, Betty. How are y'all doing? How did y'all miss me last night? I bet y'all missed me. I bet it was awful, wasn't it?
Well,
I bet
it was
MKB just made a fool of herself, didn't
it was
she?
terrible. It was terrible.
I know. I bet you was up there crying, wasn't you?
Jamie said, I've been listening to this guy that ran away in Pennsylvania that left prison. He's been on the run for 7 days. Wow, he could be
Really?
anywhere.
Wow. That's
Mhm.
scary. Um, there's this one guy that broke out of prison and he went to his neighborhood and he hid out in this guy's attic.
Oh my
He was,
goodness,
yeah, he was there for days before,
that'd be
before they.
scary.
Yeah, I know. That'd scare the crap out of me.
Oh, have you been watching? Has anybody been watching that 8 passenger? They had a channel. It's they had like 7 or 8 kids. I get maybe I don't know if it's 8 of them all together, and they had 6 kids or something like that. I don't know, but the mother is got arrested for child abuse. One of the kids broke out of the house with out of the window with duct tape around its ankles and arms and stuff, and went down the road looking for food and something to drink. They were hungry and stuff, and they
Oh,
arrested her. And she was a YouTuber on YouTube. They had like millions following them at one time, and then their channel. I don't know if they took their channel down or went down or something, but they were YouTubers.
oh
It's called the
wow.
Eight Passengers or some Eight Passengers. God, I have to look it up. But I've been watching it on YouTube last night and yesterday.
Oh wow.
Oh, Southern Race said,
I
yes,
heard
I
something
listened
about
to
it, but I
Britney's
didn't.
Love on MKB. It's beyond sad. Yeah, that's what I've been watching. I seen it on somebody else's too, not Britney's. I don't watch Britney, but um, it's on another guy that has a channel. I can't pronounce his name, but he starts with the I. Um, but he's good. He was talking about it on his channel. Hey, Blues Girl.
Hey, Blues.
Yeah, that mom was well. One day her kid went to school, and I think the kid was in. It was in a younger grade, kindergarten or preschool or something. And she was supposed to make her own lunch for school, and she forgot to make it or didn't get it. And the mom asked her, "Did she get her lunch?" And she said yes. And the teacher called her and asked her, "Could she bring a lunch?" Because her daughter forgot to bring a lunch to school. She told them, "No, do not give her nothing. She'll learn her lesson." Just don't give her nothing. She said I asked her, did she pack her lunch this morning? She said yes, and so she'll learn her lesson. That was
How
one
old
of.
is she?
She was in preschool or kindergarten or something,
Well,
pre-K.
well, why did her mama pack her lunch?
That's what I'm thinking. But
Lazy
I
old
guess
heifer.
they had to pack it themselves. But it's just that was just some of the things that she did. And then one of her sons got in trouble, and she grounded him from his bed in his room, like for having a room. He had to sleep on a bean bag for 7 months, and it ended up hurting his spine and his back for sleeping on it so long. And for
7.
7 months on a bean bag, because she took his bed away from him in his bedroom.
Sorry.
She sounded real cruel, like she was real cruel. Yeah, she would tell them that if they couldn't eat breakfast until they had their chores done and stuff. Just being mean on the live TV, people could see it and stuff. Yeah, she seemed very evil, evil,
Did
evil.
somebody turn her in? I mean, is that.
Well, the son broke. Well, the one of the kids, I can't remember if it was. I think it was a boy. Broke out the window and snuck out the window and went to a neighbor's and asked for food and water, and that's how she got arrested.
Well, what in God's name, I want to know, does these people, why do they have kids for if they're going to treat them like that? I just don't understand. There's people out there that can't have children that would love to have children and would treat them wonderful. And there's these people out there that have 10, 12 kids, just keep on having them and they're mean to them. I don't get that.
Hey, Kelly Cares.
Like the abuse. I don't understand how could you abuse your own flesh and blood or any little innocent thing. I mean, how in God's name could you live with yourself? I just don't understand how those parents sleep at night.
She wanted her son to grow up and be a better man or something. She sent him off to this camp or something where they literally have nothing. They have to make their own beds in order to sleep on them and stuff. They just send. It's like a wilderness camp, and she done that to him too, and which I mean they make this more or less for like troubled teens. It's on drugs and stuff
Uh,
like that, and but she sent him off to there just I guess whatever, just because she's a mean parent, I guess. But they look really like a pretty family on TV. Whenever you see when you look at them on the TV, they look like a nice looking family, all dressed pretty and nice and neat. And but then behind the scenes, look what's going on.
Oh, Southern lady, did you see that? Some people have kids so they can abuse them.
Yeah.
Dear God, what is
Oh,
wrong?
Jamie May said this guy is from Brazil. He killed two people in Brazil and then he came to America. He killed his girlfriend, stabbed her 37 times in front of her kids. He did a Superman scale. The wall got out. He's been out ever since Thursday, I believe. Wow. I'd be scared of that man.
Man, I would too. Don't you know it?
Hey Shalama.
Hey, Jen.
Hey Jen in Jersey.
But
Jen.
that just does. I mean, that's just something else. I don't know. The world's just going to shit in a handbasket, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just like on here, you talk. These YouTubers, um, it seems like they'd use their brains once in a while instead of arguing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, same old argument over and over and over. And none of them have any room to judge anybody else from their own actions that they've done themselves. I'm like, they judge others when they're sitting up there begging themselves. I just don't get it. They make absolutely no sense. And I'm just not interested in listening to any of them. It's sickening the way they call each other the nasty names, and they think up the nastiest names that they can call somebody, and they call them that. And they don't even know these people.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's still on the run, she said. Tomorrow will be 7 days and they can't find him. They said he's in one spot now. Go there. He's not there, so they need to find him. So
is
he's
he
still on
close?
the run.
Is he close to you? I mean, is it close to you,
Not
Jamie?
to me.
I mean, Jamie. I was wondering if it was close to her.
Jamie
Hi,
gonna be playing Monopoly
Selena.
and gonna look up and he's gonna be in her attic. Better get off that Monopoly game. You might be living in your attic, Jamie.
There's Shalima. She's here.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to see you.
I
Yeah.
hadn't seen the prisoner that's broken out. I've seen about the 8 passenger family, but I didn't see about the prisoner.
Well, we had it right when we were on the phone earlier. They did a Amber Alert on a little kid here in Oklahoma City.
Hey, Save Robbie.
I'm gonna have to find out more about it. Some snagged him up.
Pennsylvania. He's from Pennsylvania, I think.
Hi, Robbie.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
that's sad how just a normal looking family can be so. I mean, you by looking at the family, you think they're all healthy and nice and everything's going great because they just look like a clean normal family. And behind the
Right.
scenes, the kids got duct tape around his ankles and his arms and stuff, breaking out of the house. You never know what goes on behind these doors, these houses. People are
Isn't it
just batshit
amazing?
crazy. She wanted to be like she she loved to be bossing around. She had this other girl that she was friends with, and I think they had like a little talk show or little talk thing or something. And they, I don't know, it's just the way they wanted to treat their Mormons or some kind of a church or something, a Mormons or something, and wanted to be strict to their kids and stuff.
Yeah.
We're doing great, Robbie.
It's amazing. I mean, how strict that you can be. I mean, like parents can be. Like my parents. See, my sisters was married when my parents adopted me, and they were strict with my sisters. Like, my dad was a preacher, and they couldn't have a TV, and they couldn't wear pants, and they couldn't do anything. And when I come along, oh, that shit changed fast. And my sisters got mad at me over it. But my dad said that he realized how wrong he was in being so strict. And but they weren't beat or nothing, but they were just really strict. and they were so strict. I could not live like that. I
That's
mean, I
terrible, Mark. I didn't know you was adopted. He said
what?
my parents just didn't know better, but didn't know love. I asked them one time if she was mad she adopted me, and she said sometimes. That's not that's not something you should tell a child. Good gravy.
Mark, you were adopted too. I was adopted.
I didn't know that.
You never told me that. Yeah, I was adopted when I was a month old.
I was
Yeah,
adopted by my stepdad, but I was older before I got adopted though. And then he never had nothing to do with me after my mom and him got divorced. So really, I didn't have a daddy really growing up.
really.
No,
Um, Jamie, why have you heard something? We were talking about Dot today, and I said I was worried. I mean, I was worried. I hope that she hasn't been live, so I hope it's not her health. So
she's
if
got the
any,
flu and been resting, is what Jamie May
okay,
said. She heard.
okay. Well, I want to make sure she's all right because I
You're right,
seen
Blues girl. They shouldn't. That should never been spoken to. Hey, she should never told her child that at all.
thanks, Robbie. Yeah, because I
That,
mean, even though she hates me more than the life itself, I still care about her. I mean, I wouldn't want nothing to happen to her. I mean, I'm not like that.
yeah, it'd make you strong. It'd make you a stronger person, Mark. Because I've had a lot in my past growing up. We used to get beatings all the time and stuff. I mean, we got beat a lot when we was a child, and I was there, and I was like, "There's no way that all four of us, because we'd all four get whoopings every time, beatings every time. It wouldn't just be one child; it'd be all four of us, all lined up." And he used to get so much pleasure out of that. I just knew it. I mean, he was a hateful man. Um, I couldn't imagine uh, living with parents that show no love and stuff. That's got to be horrible. My mom was the kind of mom that never could
Yeah.
say I love you either. She was one of those that wasn't really touchy feely mom, like I love you kind of mom. She just felt strange to say that around my mom. I guess growing up.
Wow.
Hey, Teresa Green, welcome.
I mean, we said it all the time. I mean, like, um, I don't know. My parents was very good people and very. I was very lucky to be adopted by them. Um, they were really sweet people, but uh, nobody misses my mama. She get you in a heartbeat now. But my real parents come back when I was 9 and tried to get me back, and um, because it was kind of not legal, but my mama told her, she said it'll be over my dead body, and she meant every bit of it too. They didn't get me back either. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it would have been. I would have been happier if I hadn't known who my real parents were. I wish I hadn't ever
Well,
known.
I knew who my dad was. He lived only like 10 minutes from where I've always grown up to live, and he wanted to come see me
Mhm.
every now and then. And he just didn't want to pay child support and didn't want to have to deal with another child. That's all it was to it. He paid for the adoption for another man to adopt
Oh,
me, just so he wouldn't have to pay the child support and have to take care of me. So
wow.
I grew up my whole life thinking my dad sold me pretty much because he paid for everything, and it really hurt me for a long time. I had to go through counseling and everything. It took a really big toll on my life, believing that all the time that you wouldn't want it and stuff. And then as
Mhm.
I got older, and then he thought I should come around then. And I didn't know him. How are you going to go around somebody you don't know?
Right.
It wasn't no two-way street. He come here, I go there. It was like he thought I was old enough now that I could come around see him. No, I don't. It don't work that way. You didn't
Wow.
come around see me all my life, and then you turn around and gonna pretty much sell me, and then you expect me to come see you? No way. That's the way I seen it. So
Right.
I never called anybody daddy my whole life. I've never had a daddy. The way it's just pretty much the way my life has been.
Wow. I had a wonderful daddy. He died when I was 17, but they were in their 50s when they got me. But I had a wonderful daddy. And my real dad he come after I had kids and stuff and told and apologized and told me that he should have never let my mama give me away. They had another baby after me. I was a twin.
Mm.
And then they had another baby after me. But
It's just, you
yeah,
just have some good parents, and you got some parents that ain't worth a shit that don't need kids. But it,
right.
I don't know what was the reason that your parents gave you up for adoption.
Because they said something was wrong with me. I cried all the time. And well, my mom um didn't want a girl. She didn't want any more girls, and
Oh, that's not a good enough reason.
she didn't like girls. That's what my now that was told to me later on by her sister. But she had a sister that looked just like me. That her she got married when she was like 17, and her husband uh beat her up and killed her. And when she was only 17.
Betty Boop said I was a daddy's girl, and that's what started my nightmare. But I'm still here kicking. See, we just don't even know how what a lot of people has gone through in their life, and there's so many trials that people's done accomplished and been through, and everything. It's crazy. And then Kelly had amazing parents. They were poor and they fought like cats and dogs, but they were the best parents I could ever imagine. See, that's awesome right there.
Hmm. Yeah, I could. I mean, I see the way that my brothers and sisters turned out, and I see the way they grew up, and I mean that. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about, but they were really poor, and my parents had money. I mean, my step parents did, and because my daddy worked really hard, and and I did get things. I mean, I did have things that they didn't get, and so it made them hate me. The brothers and sisters, it made them hate me and resent me. And they stayed in the same. They moved to the town where we lived, and they stayed there all my life, and they're still there. Matter of
I,
fact, I own like our real parents died, but since the adoption was not legal, I still had rights the same as they did. So when they died, I inherited part of the ownership of the house, and everybody signed their part over, gave their part up because they was going to give it to a niece, and I told them like, there's no way I'm giving my part up, nothing. And so my sister lives there now, but it's just kind of funny that
if y'all only knew the life that I grew up after, even as I even got older and like 14, 15, y'all just would not have believed. Y'all would not believe with the stories I could tell y'all. Y'all just would not believe them. And I
we
can't.
would not believe that it was you.
No, yeah, just from the things that I've grown up with and what I've had to go through and stuff. But you can't tell your story on here. You can't tell your struggles or anything because people use them against you and try to hurt you with them and stuff. So I couldn't tell my story here.
Well,
That's the sad thing is people will try to use it against me or try to hurt me with
right,
it more if
right,
I tell my story.
right. Well, I mean, the way I see it is they can't hurt you because you've already been through it and you've already come out of it.
Yeah.
And people are going to talk on here, and it's just the sorry, low down, good for nothings that do that. And Um, and it's not right that it's like that, but it is. And even trying to reason with them or talk to them and or letting them see that YouTube could be a better place if they would just put forth a little effort, but they won't. It's not going to happen. Honey, I'm live.
Honey, I'm live.
He's
Hey, Adam
well,
Shaver Ginger.
he's got his he's got his YouTube on. You know his
Mhm.
audio book.
Oh, that's good. They listen to those audiobooks and stuff on YouTube. That's
Well, it's
awesome.
the boringest book I have ever heard in my life.
Is it just books? They audiobooks? And he
Yes.
likes listening to them?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, what's wrong
My
with him?
my husband is a nerd boy.
Oh Lord, it sounds like it.
He is. Honey, when okay, he does okay, he keeps the water safe. He has to we have well water here and he has to make sure that he has to test it every day. Um and make sure that it's safe for us, for all the residents here. And he had to go to school to do it. Well, um, he had to get his transcripts from his high school and his college, and the person that gives him the test calls me and tells me that these have you seen your husband's transcripts? And I said no. He goes, these are fake. There is no way that this is real. And
Hmm.
I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, there, he didn't miss not one day of school ever. He made A plus pluses.
Wow,
There was not a B on his on. I mean, from kindergarten to after college.
that's good.
He still is like the second smartest kid in that came from our school. He was okay. Dig this. It's funny. He was most likely to succeed. Right. That's what he
Mm,
was in the yearbook. Right.
yeah.
I was most likely to go to jail.
It got y'all stories about right, wasn't it?
And we get married. And we get married.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. And so
Mm,
our band director made us like he made our band like this big deal, you know. And Joseph, of course, he got to move up to the high school band when he was in grade school because he was so good. Well, he got to march behind me. He's a little kid, you know, and he had a crush on me all that time. I didn't know it, but I had a boyfriend and all that. I mean, he was too young for me. You
Mark,
don't
you don't have me crying, boy.
what? He better not be saying something sad now, y'all.
He says, I'm not a crybaby. I hope the best for my real mom. I know it's hard on her. When I go to heaven, I'll hug her. It's going to have me cry. It's so sad. It's so sad. Oh, my emotions is not good tonight, y'all. Don't be doing that to me now, Mark. That's sad.
Um,
Mm, that's pitiful. She could have had a good reason to giving you up, thinking you was going to have a better life. I do think these people, sometimes people do have to give their child up because they can't take care of them, and they're doing it for them to have a better life.
right,
So you can look
right.
at it, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes you can look at it different ways, but she done it for him to have a better life. That's a good mom right there. Good person. She looked after him before she did herself. Well, that was just touching. Oh, that just breaks my heart. Sad.
Yeah, it is sad. I mean, because I mean, my mom, never talked to me about it or anything. She never was nice to me. She never would talk to me. She acted like that I didn't exist unless it was saying something hateful to me. And I just, when she died, it just made me so sad that she never came to me. She never got to know my kids or anything, you know? And it was, and she didn't care either,
No.
you know?
Sad.
And she just really didn't care. But
Mark, that comment just hit me really hard.
mm, I didn't know Mark was adopted though.
Everybody has a story, a happy story, a sad story, and an evil story. You're right, Jamie May. You never know what kind of stories these people live behind today. I may think my story's bad, but when you come up to the next person, theirs could be even worse than what you thought yours was could be. I thank God that I came out and I'm able to. I do have a big heart, and I look out for the best of people's interest and everything. And I didn't turn out like some of the people, that raised me and stuff that I grew up with and stuff. Because I could have went the other way, but I didn't. I wanted to be a better person and treat people the way that I thought I should be treated.
Yeah. Um. My real mom was. I mean, she had so much hate or anger inside of her, you know. And I didn't want to be like her.
Yeah.
You know, I knew that I was.
She knew that she was kicked off of here. Uh, Thank you, Gina Jersey. I try to. I do. I really do. A lot of people say things on here, and it really hurts my feelings because I know the kind of person I am, and I know I'm not the perfect. I'm not perfect at all, and I have did things in my past I regret and stuff. But I try to be good to everybody that I come in contact with all the time. Jamie said, I have a big heart too, and that's why I get in trouble a lot because I want to give, and give, but always get hurt. I try to get with people and good friends, and I get hurt. I understand that too, Jamie. Let me drop her a link because she may not see the link from before. Okay, there she goes. Uh, I fall for people when I get hurt. I think our friendship there, but it's not. I like to stab in the back and then I get hurt. Yep. Yeah. When I went to school, there was none of this anti-bullying stuff. Had to deal with this yourself. I got picked on too, Mark, mostly for my red hair. Oh, Blues girl, you have red hair too? I didn't know that. Ginger's not the only redhead in the here. Wow. Yeah, Broken always pulls a Ginger falling off the panel. She's always falling off the panel. She said I did it again. I dropped the link, Broken, for you. You can click the link. I dropped it for you. We go big at Halloween. We love it. I am in Australia. Teresa, you're in Australia. At work, jobs put me with the mean and bad people because they knew I could turn them with personality. Oh, thank you, Ginger. You're such a sweetheart. I'm ready to decorate. I like decorating for Halloween and Christmas and stuff like that. I can't wait to get. I need to start getting try to find some of my stuff now because Lord knows every year I get ready to pack it up. I'm ready to get it out of here and pack it up, and then come next year I'm like, where did I put it at? Because I had so much mess. And kids' toys. Landon's got some. Oh, that way she's backstage. Landon's got so many toys right now. It ain't even funny. You back, girl?
Yeah, you just left me back there forever.
What? I'm on my phone and it just shows a little dot down there, and I'm like, what the heck?
I
And then I seen now you even left a private chat. Hello.
know, but hello. But it doesn't give, like when people are talking, it doesn't give you their expression of what they're saying. If I wished I had the ability to do that. Like there's some like people that write, they can do that. Put that in there when they're writing.
Yeah, redheads back in the day. Yeah, they was more light complected, had little freckles and stuff. Cute little. I thought redheads were cute.
Oh my! Y'all, I had this little red-headed, freckle-faced little boy that chased me. He was in love with me until I swear sixth or seventh grade, and he would not leave me alone. We went to church together. He drove me insane. It
Mm.
was so funny. He would not ever give up. I mean, that was the whole thing. You know, I would be mean to him and beat him up and everything else, and he just would not give up. But I mean, we're friends now. I mean, we're still friends. Well, I dated his brother like later on, but yeah, we're friends now though. But we always laugh about it though. Him chasing me. He gave me a ring. He tricked me into. He gave me a ring. Told me to hold out my hand. He gave me this ring. You know, and then he goes and tells everybody we're going together. You know, we were just little bitty tiny kids.
Mhm.
I was like, I beat him up over that. Yeah, we were little kids. It was funny.
No, Blue's got a kitten and a new puppy, and she said this holiday season's maybe a bit crazy for decorations. I bet.
Mm.
Strawberry
Yeah.
shortcake. I bet you did get called strawberry shortcake. And Pippi Longstocking. I love Pippi Longstocking. Hey, I Pippi. Pippi, I away. It was a
Uh,
kid cartoon. I used to love that crap.
you you can come up with a song for everything. I think
Yeah.
she can. It's so funny.
Mhm.
It wouldn't. I can always tell. You know when she's in a bad mood, she won't do that at all.
Mhm.
She'll go. Believe it or not, she'll go. We'll be on the phone and she'll go real quiet, and I'm like, hello.
Mhm.
I can tell when she's always doing something. And
Yeah, if I'm doing something, I really get quiet then.
she acts like I know, but she acts like she can go. It's okay. I can go ahead and do this, and they won't not. They can't tell that I'm doing it.
Yeah. I always get caught.
Yeah, because you talk. Yeah, because you go totally quiet. It's hilarious. I've never seen anybody get so quiet, especially somebody that talks
Mhm.
like she does. And she goes, and you started making that noise again. You started getting me doing it. I said, I just now broke myself.
Mhm.
That, you know.
Yeah. Do y'all redheads have bad tempers? Blue's a girl and Ginger. Y'all got bad tempers. Y'all's redhead.
I wasn't redheaded. I had a bad temper. I had a real bad temper. Mama,
Tear it up.
but my stepmom would get mad at me sometimes, and she'd tell me, she'd say, "You're just like your mama."
Oh Lord.
And yeah, and that would hurt. That would really hurt my feelings. You know it? Because
Mhm.
I mean, because my real mom was like real mean to me, and it would hurt my feelings. Because I didn't think that I was that mean. I mean, I was mean, but now I see that I deserved it. When I got spanked and stuff, I deserved it, every bit of it.
Mhm.
I go, I go in. I got to where I go in. I say, well, I'm fixing to do something, and so can I just have my spanking now? My older sisters go, we wish that we could have been more like you, and they wouldn't hardly have. I mean, and they were, I don't know, stuck up. They were so stuck up.
Uh-oh,
My,
uh-oh, stuck like glue. You and me, baby, we're stuck like glue.
yeah, but I don't know, my older sisters, they were real stuck up. I wasn't like that.
The color green suits redheads. You really think so?
Redheads look good in green. They do. Yep,
I've
they
had
do.
Blue says, no, I don't have a bad temper. I have a 2 hour cool down curve. If you leave me be, all is cool in 2 hours.
Don't you hate that though? When you need you when is all you need is time to cool down, and the person won't leave you alone. They won't shut their mouth. You tell them just go on and shut up for give me a minute, and they
Hmm.
won't. Man, I'm telling you, it makes me so mad.
Hmm.
My husband knows that he hits the other end of the house. If I get upset. He don't
He
bug
goes the
me.
opposite direction.
Yeah, he don't bother me. He used to bother me. And if I stay and like if I go back, if he's in the kitchen, like, and if I go in the kitchen, boy, I better hurry up and get what I'm getting and get the hell out of there, because he'll want to talk about what's going on. He's the one that likes to talk about it, like women do.
Yep.
I'm not like that. Oh,
I
listen,
like to
my husband just now flipped me off.
I like to talk about it too. I cannot stand somebody to go quiet and not answer me and not want to talk about it. If they turn around and want to walk off, it'll kill me. I'm one of those
Uh,
who like to confront you right then. Come on, we need to talk about this right now and get it over with. Hey,
I,
Sean
I,
Boykin.
I'll just tell him, I'll say, okay, here's the deal. I'm right, you're wrong, and that's the end of it. See, see ya. I'm
Happy
still, I'm,
what? You want a happy wife, a happy life, or something like a happy wife, happy life.
well, I mean, why can't you just agree to disagree, and you're right, you believe you're right, and let them believe they're right, and just go on about your business?
Mhm.
Talking about it gets you nowhere except an argument. I mean, and that's what, I mean, do you know we didn't have not one argument for the first 10 years of our marriage?
Wow. John
10.
Boykin, I was just asking about you last night. Was wondering where you been. I hadn't seen you. It's good to
Hi,
see you.
Poison. Oh, wow, she hasn't been around.
No, she's always working and stuff, so I knew she was busy and stuff. But she hadn't been around. I hadn't seen her. She's such a
Well, I'm
sweetheart.
glad. I'm glad you're here.
I wish I was more like that. I go quiet. Oh, you go quiet, Teresa? Not me. I don't go quiet at all.
I
If
don't
I'm
either.
quiet, you better start worrying if I'm quiet.
Yeah. Well, when I'm quiet, when I go quiet, I'm done. I mean, I'm done. Period. There ain't no talking to me. Uh, there's no me forgetting about it. I mean, it's just I'm done with it. I'm right and you're wrong. Well, I mean, I'm just
Teresa, I'm the same way. I stew for a little while. Hmm.
my husband told me that he told me that uh with my attitude I act more like I have a guy's attitude, instead of having like one like having like remembering, like women always remember birthdays, anniversaries, first dates, blah blah blah. I don't remember jack squat. And I forget, like, one year I forgot our anniversary. Well, every year I did, but I always somebody would always say something, and I would not get caught. But I mean, it's sad, but I can't help it. I'm like that. I don't know who I am.
Teresa said I slammed doors, but hubby put WD 40 on them. LOL. You
That's
remember
hilarious.
slamming the doors?
That's
Mark said
hilarious.
girls be aggressive in bed, ladies outside the bed.
I don't know. I'm a scrapper. See, I'm a scrapper, and I don't like to fight with him. You know, he's one that he's sweet and he loves me, and I just don't like fighting with him. You know, I don't like being mean to him. I mean, like saying mean things, you know, when you're mad. So I'd rather just avoid it.
Mark Ginger said, "My mama said, ladies in the streets, freaks in the sheets." What?
Oh,
She got you, did she, Mark?
Lord.
Hmm. He says, "I'm a good judge of people. I know Ginger is a freak. She's a redhead too. I've always heard red on the head, fire in the hole, or something." That's what they used to say back in the day, long time
Redneck fire. Oh, that's funny.
ago.
I've got my twin, uh, my niece, his daughter. Um, she has got the prettiest red hair, and it's long, and it naturally just it's in ringlets,
Oh,
and it's natural like that. She don't have to do anything to it, and it's beautiful. And she's wants to change it all the time. She's always wanting to straighten it all out, and tell her she's crazy. She got beautiful hair, and my kids didn't. She's like the we have redheads in our family, but like it's like distant. You know, she was like the first one in our family, you know, to have red hair, and she was just it's just the most beautiful hair ever.
mm. Are you identical twins broken?
No, it's a we no, it's a boy. He's a boy. That's why they kept him and they gave me away. Is because he was a boy. And I mean, I never I mean, I didn't really understand that. I didn't know about that part about her not wanting any more girls. And I mean, all my life I wondered why did they give me away and nobody else? And then they had another baby after me,
Mm.
and there's 9 of us, and and I never would understand that. But I mean, I'm glad that they did. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad they did, really, because I mean, I had such a better life than what my brothers and sisters had. You know, I did. It's not my fault that I did, but I did, and I'm grateful for it because my sister was some things that my brothers did some things to my sisters and stuff, and it was bad, and I didn't have to experience that because I was taken out of it. See, and it was just really bad for my sister when she told me, and I think she said that that was a lot of the resentment from what she went through, and I didn't have to go through it because I got out.
Oh, that's
So
good.
yeah,
Oh, shot of poison. Andrew, I hadn't talked to her in a few days, but when I did talk to her a couple of days ago, she said that she got out of the apartment. I mean, out of her house and into the apartment, and she just got a lot of unpacking to do, and she's busy doing the unpacking and all that. So she ain't had time to call me or nothing. She's been so busy unpacking and stuff.
oh
So
true, yeah.
I might
I'm
try to
sorry.
call her tonight, see if she answers the phone, because I ain't talked to her in a couple of days. So she just needs to take a few minutes to sit down and talk to me.
She sure does. You know what? And I don't even. You don't even give her my phone number. She don't even call me at all. I don't get no phone calls from
Well, I barely get to talk to her now. Before I was talking to her every day, 3 or 4 times a day. Now it's nothing.
her.
Went all to nothing. Once she got everything and got ready to move, and it was nothing then.
Well, I tell you what. You would talk to me more, but my whole day kind of gets away from me before I know it. You know, I mean, I'm like dead in the water. There's not enough hours in a day to do what I have to do. I'm serious. You should see my fit I was throwing. I lost my darn phone yesterday. God, it was awful. Nobody would help me find it either, y'all. Let me tell you.
Mhm.
Everybody's scattered. Oh, God.
Mark, you sound like a man. I always think of things that make sex better. That's just that comes from a man's thinking there.
Right. Oh, well,
If you had to
and
wash
then
ceilings today, yuck. I would hate to be washing ceilings too. What kind of work you got to do?
wash ceilings.
Yeah.
Who?
Teresa said I
Oh,
have to wash
Teresa?
ceilings today. I wouldn't want to wash no ceilings either.
Shoot. I washed my front door, scrubbed it down. I was like, my God, look at all this. I couldn't believe how much dirt gets on the front door, especially when it right by the handle. We had to. Oh, did you tell? Oh, did you? Y'all want to hear my experience?
Oh,
I,
son.
I got a new sectional, and it would not fit it through the front. There was no way they could get it into the door. And my husband does furniture professionally, and there was no way we were getting that sectional. It was so big into the house. They took out my picture window and put the sectional in the house, and then put my picture window back in. That was an experience. Y'all should have seen it. Y'all should have
Oh
seen it.
Lord.
It was hilarious.
I'm
But
surprised he didn't get mad and not even want to do that part.
my husband did it. He's the one that figured out how to. He said it's gonna have to come through that window right there. And he's done it. I mean, he's probably done it for over 20 years, moving furniture. And so he knew there's nothing he could do to get it through that front door. He's got to come up with some other way because uh, this is my furniture that I wanted really, really bad forever, and I finally got it. And for it not to fit in the um, front door, well, I was just almost dying. I was so worried. He knew it too. And he goes, "It's gonna come through that picture window there." I said, "You better go get some help," because he's doing all this by himself. And so he went and got some help. But it was so funny. I couldn't believe that he took out the picture window and got my furniture in here. But he sure did. He's good. He's good at what he does. He loves doing it too, moving furniture.
Mark, does anyone watch porn with their others?
Mark!
Lord. Well, I guess it depends, Mark, on what day it is. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'm not, but how many swings around? Wait, what was his question on that? Oh, Lord.
I got one. Why, um, why would you want to watch porn when you have a live person right there with you? I don't understand that part. Uh, I mean, right?
Unless you're going to act out what they're doing or something, like, we're going to do this.
I guess to
I
learn.
guess. Well, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. You try to get the girl in the mood, ain't you?
Well, I just never saw a point to that.
This broken shop wasn't broken. That's my question too.
Well, I mean, hello.
We got a woman right here while I watch porn.
You guys need to think about that. You know, because um, just from my old lady's point of view, not all women think like this, but That's really a turn off, and it probably maybe it hurts their feelings. Maybe
Yeah,
you guys should, yeah, maybe you
thinking
guys
they're not
should,
good enough for you to.
yeah, maybe you guys should step back and think about that one.
Yep.
And yeah, and then watch it when they're not around.
Mhm.
No.
Yep.
But I mean, I had with my first husband. I did,
I've watched it too. I ain't gonna lie, but it's been a long time since I watched it.
and that's when I come up with that. I mean, like, I just don't understand the. I don't understand the concept of this. I just don't get it. What you know? This is not my.
Exactly, Ginger. Why watch porn when you can live out your own, doofus? That's right. You can make your own porn. Hell,
Yeah, Mark. See, see. I
Jamie
know.
got
Well,
exactly some.
oh well. Some people do make their own, honey, and believe me, some of it got out in the public too.
Uh
Don't you remember that?
oh, Ginger got it on track now, don't she? Most women like to be mentally stimulated, not visually stimulation.
Mentally or physically?
Mark
Ginger.
said, I will only allow midget porn, so I'm not jelly.
You're only like midget porn. What? What the
She's
hell is
fucking all
that?
confused over here now. She's like, what the
What the hell is that?
hell?
Oh Lord, Mark, what is that? Some new some new thing you guys have come up with?
Yeah, I think it was the 80s things too.
I'm telling y'all something else.
Me and Mark's first date, he's gonna be like, "You wanna go watch porn? Midget porn?"
Yeah, he will.
I'll be like, "What the
Oh no, no, he
fuck?"
won't. He's gonna want to go play golf first.
Oh yeah, golf first, and then the midget porn.
Yeah,
Let me get that story straight. Yeah, golf's got to be first, and then he
yeah.
want me to play with his balls next, and then we'll watch midget porn.
I bet Mark something else. Mark probably acts like a 20-year-old.
Probably does. I bet he does.
I bet he does too. He probably hoes around.
Mm,
Do you, Mark? No, he. I don't think he does. Because if he did, he'd flirt with girls on here, and he don't do that. So I don't think he does that.
role playing is better than porn.
What?
People, I never got into it because of bad acting plots. How many plumber snakes one woman's drain? It's funny. Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I
Role
know.
playing is better than porn, Mark said. Mm,
What he say?
role playing is better than porn.
Oh, did you like to do role playing?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a nurse tonight. I'm gonna be Nurse Ratchet.
Are you?
Mm,
Well, I guess I'm gonna be.
all right, the teacher. I'm gonna be the teacher.
Oh Lord, that'd be gross.
We're gonna
See,
learn today. You're gonna learn today, honey.
oh, she be getting in that. What is that? I used to work with a girl that did that. Um, she uh started doing that. I forgot what it's called. What's it called? Something. You know what I'm talking about, right? Everybody. Um, and she would tell me about like her customers and stuff like that, and you know what she did, and she made real good money at it, and I was like, there is no way I could do that.
No way.
There ain't no way. I mean, I can't believe it. I just can't believe people do that anyway. I can't believe people pay people money. I was I was in shock though. I mean, I was just like, oh my god, really? Because that's when I first found out about it. Because I didn't know that went on. I said, that's not it. That's not like being a hooker, is it? Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, because that's what I thought I had in my head that it would be like. Oh, it's funny too. Cause I mean, she brought me some pictures of like her outfits that she wore, and I was like, oh my god. I don't know. I just couldn't do that.
Mark says, I'm all good. Jamie
Well,
said, OMG, TMI, get a room, guys, get a room.
who did?
Jamie said, get a room.
Jamie.
Jamie May said, get a room.
For who? All of us?
Just the ones that's, talking sexy or whatever, I guess. She's just saying
Oh.
leather
Yeah,
is
Mark.
sexy with the
Mark, go
attitude.
get your room.
With your balls.
Better be a nice room too, Mark.
Oh,
Who?
Jenna's getting wound up. Look at her. She's going to be the naughty librarian.
A
Ginger,
librarian?
the naughty
Ginger?
librarian.
Ginger, you couldn't pass to be a librarian if the moon turned round. Honey, you could not. There's just no way. Ginger would have the library. She would have it. Everybody up there talking to It'd be all noisy when everybody walked in because Ginger was running the library. She'd have them all going. Oh, I know. Have you seen some of the like I don't know early 20s college kids when they go to dress up for Halloween, and the girls like wear these like really skimpy, like barely there. I mean, it's something else. I'm just like, my God, I just can't believe that they dress like that.
Laura said, guys like attention with a little attitude. The little attitude.
And well, Marco, you would just love me to pieces because I've always got an attitude.
Mm,
I do.
yep.
I'm so I don't know. I'm picky, I guess, in a weird way.
Hey, Daria. Hey, everyone. Hope you're having a good night. Yeah, we're having a good night.
Are you having a good night yourself? You haven't been listening to all the crap, have you? You can
Mhm.
tell. You can tell we haven't listened to any of it because uh, we're not. I mean, I am not interested in it. Not anymore. I'm just not interested in their crap. I mean, these people being mean and nasty and just one lie right after another, just talking about them and just, it makes you want to roll over. Just stupid, ignorant people. Or did they get an education somewhere? I mean, good God, did they make it to fifth grade? Because if they did, they'd know that they're acting like little kids now. I mean, good Lord. I'd be embarrassed. That's why you just don't. I mean, if you have something to say to somebody, you say it to them right there. Say it to them, and and be done with it. And you don't go back and forth like for a year, Granny, and liking, you know.
I can't believe Ginger used to be a librarian. She was a
She,
assistant in high school.
Ginger, are you serious?
Uh-oh.
In high school?
Yep, she was a librarian as an assistant in high school.
Oh my goodness. She was nerd. She was a nerd.
Yep.
hmm Well, I tell you what, the nerds are, they're going to turn out to be the prettiest and the most handsomest and smart. I'm telling you. And my husband is very good to me, and I wouldn't trade him for nothing in the world. And I call him my little nerd boy. I think it's hot when a guy's smart. You know.
Sexy librarians make even more money, Daria.
Everybody be going to the library, wouldn't they?
Yep.
Instead of they say, "Oh, our computer's broke. We need to go to the library."
I'm gonna have to go in there and pull out my drawer of toys in there after this live.
Uh-oh. Oh my
Had to put
word.
in some had to put in some porn movies.
Uh-oh.
pull
Y'all better be
out
quiet.
pull out some 80s porn video back in the 80s. They would have
I
big
know.
bushy.
They'll be saying that our live was so horrible because we was talking about awful things over here, being so indecent. You know what?
Yep.
I I wouldn't put past any of that for them to say something like that. Us laughing and cutting up. Because I'm serious. You hear how indecent they were talking while they're sitting over there cussing somebody out.
That sounds like a dream to me. I'd love working at a library. And did you like it, Ginger? I couldn't stand working in the library, and I can't be quiet enough to work at the library. And they'd kick me out the first
I
day.
bet. I bet. What
They'd
did
be,
you try it?
that's all they would tell me shh the whole time I was in there. Shh.
Did you try it?
No, ain't no way I could be a librarian.
Hmm.
I never could shut up at school. I got in trouble too much for talking too much.
I did too. I was always in trouble for talking too much.
The mullet is back in fashion. I missed that fashion statement then. So I thought it was out, Teresa.
What?
The mullet. She's just
The
back in
mullet.
fashion. The mullet.
Man, I tell you what, that I wonder what made guys think that mullet was a good idea. It were bell bottoms. Wonder what made them think that was a good idea. Bell bottoms are awful. And when everybody's like, "Oh, bell bottoms are coming back in style," I'm like, they're not for me.
The
I wouldn't.
mullets are back. And the shag for women is back.
Yeah, the shag. I remember my mom used to
Um,
get. I was always, and then when I got older, I'd get my hair cut in the shag. I always wanted a shag, and it was so awful. When I was older, I was like, "What was I thinking?" And my hair was naturally curly, and my mom put a home perm in. You should have seen my hair. And I had pictures at
we used to
school.
do home perms too, and oh my gosh, the way my hair would come out too, girls, the story.
Oh my god! You didn't have no choice because it's your mom doing it, you know.
Oh Lord.
Her sister goes. My sister called her Lean. She goes, "Lean, don't you think that her hair was curly enough?" Yes, it was. She thought that if she did it, it would calm my curls down some. Oh my lord! I'll never those days. Oh, I'll never forget those days. And my mom, she rolled her hair up in those old fashioned rollers every week. Yeah. And when she got sick, when she had that stroke, she moved in with me. She still wanted me to do that once a week. I
Yeah,
hated
those
doing it.
frosting caps. I remember my friend tried to do me a frosting tips. Oh my gosh. And she'd be
Yeah.
stabbing my head with those little picks they give you too.
What? When you pull it through that cap?
Yes,
Boy,
those
I
little picks.
tried that once. That hurt.
I
They got
know.
a couple of strands, and I was like, "Oh no, let's do it some other way. You ain't gonna do that." I mean, they would have been pulling on your hair for a couple of hours
I
now.
know. Things do hurt.
I said, "Why don't you just paint stripes on it? It'll be
Mhm.
okay. It'll be all right."
Yeah, I can't wear no padded shoulders now. That can't come back.
I always rip mine out. I remember padded shoulders now. Yeah, I remember that. But I don't. I guess I did wear padded shoulders until I got smart enough that I could take them out. God, I can't wait. I don't know. I think the best. When did the mini skirt come out and stuff like that?
I
And
don't remember those.
the Nair commercials. We wear short shorts. We used to sing that song all the time.
No, all
I
the time.
love that
You wear
commercial.
short shorts.
Oh, I love that commercial. It's so cool.
You
I
wear short shorts.
think I bet the best times was like the '60s. The poodle skirts and
Yeah.
I think the kids back then really enjoyed their lives. They got to really enjoy their lives, and it wasn't as troubled. I mean, like I know a lot of kids did go through a lot, but I mean, there was a lot less evil in the world. You know what I mean? And it just seems like that they had so much fun back then.
My days, we wore the tightrope pants. You had to roll your pants up at the bottom, tight rolled them.
Well,
That was the way we wore them back in the day when I was growing up.
we
But
didn't really.
I would love to seen the poodle skirts and stuff back in the day. Those would have been so cute.
I know. See, we had like a day at school where where we got, where you wear poodle skirts and stuff like that, and we got to dress like that at school. It was cool. I just, I just think it'd be so. I don't know. I just think that back then was it was a more simpler time. More innocent to where that. I don't know. Just seems like the world just keeps getting worse and worse. You know,
If you
and
dare
it's
wear short shorts and there for short shorts
yeah, yeah. If you
with the
dare wear
slouchy
short
socks.
shorts,
Yep, shot of poison. I remember those slouchy socks too. And tight
what?
rolled pants with them slouchy socks.
Well, I tell you what. Oh my God, when my youngest got in high school and he wanted to wear those darn baggy pants down, and their straddles are down their knees. I was like, you're crazier than a bat.
I remember
I said,
wearing MC Hammer pants back in the day too.
and the ones that they sell now, that already has the holes ripped in them. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, what in God's name are these kids thinking by thinking that's I mean, that's crazy. Oh my God.
Reebok high tops doing a row. Yes, girl. Blues girl.
Well,
She said,
but
OMG, yes, slouch socks with my Reebok high tops doing aerobics. I remember them Reeboks too. High
y'all are
tops.
much, y'all are younger than y'all are a lot younger than me. So
I was born in the 70s.
Yeah, you're a lot younger than me. But I mean, I we just didn't really. I don't know. We didn't really have a click way of dressing. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember it anyway. If we did, I wouldn't have, done it anyway because I'm just not like that.
Shoot, I used to work out to Richard Simmons, back to the workout to the Odies, Richard Simmons. Sweating to the Odies. Sweating to the Odies, I think is what it's called. My mom had that shit.
I used to watch him. I used to love watching him. He make me laugh so much.
Richard Simmons. Leg
I,
warmers, I remember those too.
yeah, I remember leg warmers.
Hey, CJ and our forged receipts.
That's funny. I said it's isn't it weird how our dress changed? I mean, like
Yeah,
oh
you'd always say, I'd never wear that. And then you end up, that comes rolling back around in style all the time.
yeah, yeah. My son, he went bought for my birthday. He took me shopping, and they got to pick out my clothes though that I got right, and they picked out these flare jeans, that flared out at the bottom. Oh my god, I hated them. And every time I have to wear, I just wore them when I was going to be around them because they're not comfortable. I like for my pants to fit me tight around my legs. I'm comfortable that way. I don't like for anything to be loose. Like skinny leg, the skinny? Yeah. Levi 501s. Yeah. Those are my favorite jeans of all. They fit so good, don't they? We were all into we were all into like brands, um, like you had to have a certain kind of, name brand notebook it's crazy. I was defiant. I always did the opposite from what everybody else is doing. I was bad like that. MKB, where are you?
I'm right here listening.
She's quiet, isn't she? What are you doing?
I was reading the comments.
Oh,
Teresa, I love my 501s too.
there's just
Jada
something
said
about
her
those.
mom had all the sweating to the Odies videos too.
My mama used to cook breakfast to listen to Freddie Pender every morning. Same song over and over and over. She'd wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and start cooking breakfast, and we'd hear that stupid song.
Shoot, my mama got up to that song. I work hard for my money.
Oh
She used to
Lord.
laugh. She used to dance around the house and say that stuff all the time. It was so funny. I
Oh,
work hard for my money.
that's funny. Shoot, my mom, she had half her work days done by the time daylight got here.
Mm,
Shoot, I
blue
couldn't
cut
believe
legs.
the difference in time. Like the older people, like my daddy wanted to be in
The
bed
next
by 8
teardrop
o'clock.
falls.
He
I
thought
remember.
he was in
I remember that
bed.
song. When the next
For,
teardrop falls.
oh yeah, I remember that. Loretta Lynn was my daddy's favorite.
Mm,
Oh, my daddy thought that the sun rose on that woman. Let me tell you. I couldn't believe my dad was crazy about Loretta Lynn.
Betty, I mean, Blues Girl said I used to dance to Donna Summers in the clubs.
Donna Summer. Y'all, we're getting old.
Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings. Oh,
One of these days, we remember, all the
they see
oldies
just
and stuff,
gonna work all the way.
but it's just going to be a distant memory to how everything's changing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wish people would take a step back and look at how that we used to, how much happier people were when there was less violence and less, you know what I mean?
Oh, thank you, Shot of Poison. Thank
When
you so
people,
much.
what?
She sent us a $20 super chat.
How sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You're so sweet.
She's
Thank
always
you.
sweet.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much. I don't know,
We,
y'all. Uh, telling you what, uh, I'm too old, I think, to do what I used to do because it's kicking my ass, y'all.
Mhm.
Huh? I
Yeah.
never dreamed. I just never dreamed that I would let. I mean, like my time get away from me, man. And I'm just like, I just shake my head sometimes. There's not enough time in the day. I just, it's hard.
I don't remember having those smile jeans in the USA. Do y'all? She said, "Did y'all have smile jeans in the USA?"
Smile, no, I don't remember those.
Not that I remember either.
Our big thing. Do you remember those uh tennis shoes, wedge tennis shoes, high heel that they had the toes at them? They were like red, white, and blue, and red and blue, and there was like wild colors, and they were real high heels. That's what all the girls were crazy about when I was going to school, and they were always red, white, and blue, but they never matched anything that the people were wearing.
That would
I
drive me
love.
nuts. I had to match.
I love those shoes though. I wish they just wasn't red, white, and blue. And I found some I found some real high heel wedges, like those shoot back in the day. What they call them? Damn, patent leather. What is it? Black patent leather. The shiny black shoes. You know how shiny they were. I don't know what
Yeah.
they're. What were they? What were they called? Um,
She
but I
said in the
found
70s we were roller strollers. Roller strollers.
that's is that the ones that has in your tennis shoes? Is it?
I don't know.
Is that the ones when in the tennis shoes you have roller? I mean, like skates. Hey,
I remember.
Pocket Sand,
Hey, Pocket Sand.
I haven't seen you. Where have you been?
She was on there last night when you didn't come.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. My last teardrop falls. I like that song. My last teardrop falls.
Yep.
Bay City Rollers.
But time just goes by so fast, don't it?
We've been on here an hour and 23 minutes.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
See, I was gonna get on here and bitch. Yeah,
Didn't get to.
I
Not
know.
tonight.
No. Well, I mean,
Have to bitch another night.
well, it don't do any good to bitch at them. Just try to get them to listen to do something different. I mean, good God, what is wrong with them? And they act like we're the crazy nuts. That's what I just don't understand about it. So I'm not interested in it. And it's hard to bitch about it. I mean, like, get really angry about it and bitch about it. and go on about it when you're just not interested in their ignorance. I mean, because it is ignorant.
She said, I'm tardy for the party. My tassels were in the wash. Yes, you are tardy for the party, girl. Who got party
Exactly.
pooped out?
And I know. Did you just now get notification? Is that what it is?
Don't give her no excuse.
MKB, she sets up live sometimes and she forgets to tell me about it, and she just thinks I'm just supposed to magically appear. I'm teasing. She don't do that really.
She, Shot of Poison said we need to play the '80s music game again. I missed it. I like playing the music game too because I think
Oh,
it's
I do
fun.
too. Why don't we?
We'll have to do that one night. Shot of Poison.
I want to do serial killer trivia too. Will y'all do that with me?
We just did that just recently. Remember whenever you had to get off that day because you was sick? I
I
finished.
know,
I finished doing it.
yeah, but I want to ask questions.
Well,
What?
you can do that.
Hey, I got some good. Yeah, I got some good. I mean, good ones. I make up my own.
Oh, I just got them from a book. Her like it. Looked it
Yeah,
up. And it told me
yeah,
it was good. There's a
yeah,
lot of smart people in the chat to answer them jokers quick.
yeah. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at how much that people know about um different murders and different cases that's gone on. I mean, really, you'd think that they surely, they would be interested in that, and they know the answer to it. I tell you, but yeah, used to like serial killers. I mean, like there was none. I mean, at all. I mean, it was rare, and then now there's. I mean, everywhere. You know it? They're everywhere.
Mhm.
And there's some that have been going on for a long time that hasn't even been caught. I mean, like going on 20 years. And they didn't tell their stories, because this is the first time I heard about them. And I was like, oh my God. They really got by with it and they just keep doing it.
Mhm.
But, okay, tell me this, y'all. Now, these guys say that they can't help it. Serial killers can't help it. Um, something's wrong with them. I'm upstairs, which of course there is. But why don't they do it when they get in prison? Why don't they have that same urge? Why don't they kill while they're in prison? If they say that they can't help themselves, why can they help themselves in prison? I
Mhm.
mean, you know, if they can help themselves in prison, they can damn sure help themselves out here. So that's not an excuse anymore for me. Because I mean, I thought about that. I was just like, let's see, did you did you see the latest on BT? Oh yeah, I sure did. About the juror, they're saying that BTK might get another trial because they think there was jury tamper. I mean, not well. The ever who she was, I don't know, something to the jury or something. But she talked to him, what outside the scenes or something like that, and told him I don't know. I forgot what she did, but she screwed up basically, and he might get a new trial. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Have a good night, Blues Girl.
Liz
Thanks for
girl,
coming in.
yeah, thank you for being here.
I appreciate it.
Yes, I see her. She's really sweet. I see her around and stuff. She's really a nice person. I really.
Mm.
So have a good night. Well,
Yep.
I guess Pocket Sam, I guess you're just gonna have to stay on here for a long time after everybody else goes to
She
bed
said,
because.
that wouldn't be that. No, that wasn't
Oh, okay,
B2K. That
okay,
was Alex
okay. I
Murdoch.
got it mixed up. I'm sorry. That is stupid. Yeah, Murdoch. I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, so what's the latest on BTK? Tell us. She could get up here on panel and tell us.
Yeah.
She's so much better at telling stories, when she's up here telling them.
We're all waiting on her answer.
I know everybody's waiting to look. We're sitting here waiting on Ginger to answer us. Ginger, come up here.
BTK, they found one of his hidden stashes. Oh,
Hidden,
wow. Hidden
hidden.
stash.
What do you mean hidden stashes? What's that mean?
Where he hid a body or something? Mhm.
And I don't understand why.
Including drawings.
Okay, well, I don't understand about these serial killers. Why is it that before they're executed or before they die in prison or whatever, why don't they tell the parents where the bodies of their kids are so
Well,
they
I
can bury?
know.
I mean, they're. I don't understand why they want to take that to the grave with them. I mean, it just seems like that they would tell where you know what I mean. I'm just ah.
Mhm. I
I
take
mean
my
that.
picture.
Oh, I mean, it's just like it's almost like that they're evil on top of evil. You know what I mean? Just
Oh, link, please. Okay, hold on.
how mean could you be? I guess I don't know. I don't understand people anymore. I guess everybody tells me I was born to.
Thank you
That
for
I
coming
should.
to Teresa Green. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. It was pleasant you being here, and it was nice to hear your story too.
Last chance from what? I was going to say,
We
start
we kind of
saying.
we can't help ourselves over here. We kind of talk about our lives and talk about just bullshit. And because um
Mm.
nobody here is going to use any information. I mean, like we just all are comfortable with each other, I guess. And by Georgia, everybody better leave everybody alone that's in here too, because we'll get them.
Mhm.
Well, my God.
It's 1:30 p.m. here in Australia. Wow, really? It's weird how the time is. Here it is. It's late here at night. I can't even see the clock from here. It's
It's 11:05.
11:05.
Mm-hmm.
11:05 here.
That is kind of bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. And to keep up, you'd have to keep up the times, like, because like if you're a YouTuber and like you enjoy, uh, you have to get up, sleep, change your sleep pattern, I guess.
Hey, Ginger.
Hey, can you hear me?
Is
Yeah, I can
she
hear
up
you.
here?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God, I'm leaving. I'll see y'all later.
Sure, yeah.
No, you don't.
Oh, how are
Anyway,
you?
what they found is good, good. What they found is he's been writing his daughter, right? And
Yeah.
she's been talking to him on the phone and stuff. And she's been getting information.
Oh,
Okay.
Wow.
wow.
They found that there's five to six more potential victims. One in Oklahoma, Hayes, Kansas, which is like not too far from where I lived when I lived in Kansas. Yikes. Um, Missouri, and another one.
I live in
I can't
Oklahoma.
remember where they all were, but it was across. Yeah,
Wow.
they have one that's yeah. They believe one of them was Oklahoma, and what they did is he said he had these hidden caches. You know, these hidden. He admitted that he had hidden places where he stashed like trophies and shit,
Oh
right?
God.
Wow.
Um, and and they went and dug up it was a like crawl space under a house they lived in. Um,
Wow.
and it had drawings, and like personal items,
Wow.
and also like bindings, like a kill kit bindings. Um, yeah, so they're finding more potential like
Wow.
people that he killed because they could. Well, sat there and said it didn't fit for the longest time that he was inactive as long. He was
Right.
inactive for years,
Yeah.
right? And they're finding that one of the victims was like before, or like his first victims were what, 72,
Yeah.
something like that, 74
Mm-hmm.
maybe. There's a girl, I think the girl in Oklahoma was 1976.
Wow.
Wow.
I And there was another one in the 80s, or but it went through like in between his other killings.
Wow.
Wow.
So there's more. Look it up. There's more on it. Um, they're looking into some other missing people cases.
He really,
So
he really, if he hadn't have contacted the police himself, done what he did for the attention, they said he might not ever got caught because
I believe it.
he was so smart. He was dumb. I mean,
Mhm.
Cocky, got cocky,
mhm, yeah, he did. I mean,
and I just
well, I mean, what in God's name was he thinking when he? I mean, I just don't understand it. I don't understand what is wrong with their brains. Why did they do that? I mean, I just don't know. I mean, I always wondered, does their brain? I mean, their brains, I guess, clicks different.
it's it's wired different.
I can't even
It's
imagine.
definitely wired different. I mean,
Well, I mean,
dude, just
if I had one thought like that, I would have myself checked in somewhere. I mean,
that's
these people, some of these
that's not how
people,
they think though.
well, some of these
A
people,
lot of them don't.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
They don't think how other people think, honey. They just don't.
Yeah.
Well,
But
they don't think that what they're doing, there's anything wrong with it.
well,
I'm like,
do you realize that during a couple of his, like one or two of his killings, that he was using, he was actually a Boy Scout troop leader, and he had taken the boys on campouts, and
yeah.
he
Mm.
left the camp out to go kill someone. I mean, it's like, hello.
Oh my God.
Mm.
hmm
That
He
that
left. He changed his
that's
clothes, left after they went to sleep, went and killed the woman, tortured her for a few hours, came back or changed his clothes in a restroom at a rest stop, and a cop literally walked in while he was washing his hands.
oh my God.
Mm.
That is something
While they
else.
were looking for the guy who killed. hmm
Oh my
And
God.
he thought he was busted then. Boom. Think about Ridgway. How many times did they almost bust him? Right? The
Well,
Green River. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, uh, I thought it took a long time for them to catch up to him, though.
Who, Gary Ridgway?
Yeah.
He did those killings for over 20 years.
Yeah. And his
They
wife,
did, and they pretty much.
go ahead.
Oh, I was like, yeah, it was over 20 some years. I can't remember. It might have been 30. I mean, BTK was active for over almost 28 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, I mean, in like what's it, Ridgeway? And his wife had no clue. I mean, no
Well,
clue.
damn, he was married more than once, too.
I mean, no clue.
He was.
What? I mean, really? I mean, she couldn't. I don't know. Unless
Think
I
about
think that
how many. There's a lot of serial killers that their wives had no clue.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
because you
They're
know,
not,
it just now hit me, y'all. It just hit me. You know why their wives didn't have a clue? Because it didn't bother them. It didn't phase them at all to do it, to kill them people and do that stuff. And so they didn't have no reactions like people would have,
Yeah, they
right?
weren't showing signs. You're right. They weren't showing the usual signs like nervousness or anything like that.
Right.
If
Because it didn't bother
if
them.
you talk if you talk to a lot of them, like the wives afterwards will go, okay, now I see the problem. He was really anxious, and then he became nice after he killed people, and then he'd get anxious again and like
yeah.
verbally abusive, and then they kill again, and everything would be like it's a cycle, like almost like abuse as a cycle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of things you don't see when you're in the thick of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how many turned out to be like religious freaks that ended up doing stuff, and their wives wouldn't have been able to tell.
Yeah. I mean that would be. I mean, and you know that if they could do that, then their wives would have to stop and say, well, you know, how could they said they love me, how could they, feel any kind of love? I mean, how could they love anybody or anything after doing the things they do, right?
Because
I would
they
question.
get really good at mimicking emotion.
That's amazing.
Good, they get good at it. But oh, that's the other thing about BTK. They found in the stash some like pictures of what they said an unknown male victim, they believe, right? And it was him. He had dressed up himself with a mask, practiced putting bindings on himself, and took pictures in a motel room.
Oh wow.
Like he'd make trips and he'd do weird stuff. In fact, they said that his wife threatened to leave him twice because she'd come home from being out of town and catch him wearing like pantyhose and stuff like that, and you
that
know, like dressing like a woman.
that'd be kind of
I was
weird.
like, if that was the least of your worries, lady.
Really. I mean,
I mean, I'm sure a lot of women would say, "Hey, as long as he ain't killing people, he can wear a dress around the house all he wants."
I
Yep.
guess so, right? That'd be, I don't know. That'd be so weird though. I mean, I think come home. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wonder. Did they ever say why he did that? Did he ever
You
give
know
it?
what? Here's the thing. You know how they go over and they do all the psychological testing and everything, right?
Yeah, right.
Childhood, all that. He had a great
Yeah.
upbringing, a good family. Um, it's just, have you ever studied abnormal psychology?
Yes.
Okay, so in there, there's a small percentage of people, small
Uh huh.
percentage that are not not. It's not by the environment. It had to be, I'm saying, genetically predisposed or something. Something just didn't click right while he
Right.
was, you know, while he was
Right.
baking in the oven.
Right.
But he
Yeah.
didn't show a lot of signs. Like you see a lot of other people show signs.
Right.
Um, yeah, and he no history of abuse or sexual assault or anything like that.
Just
So
something's not right there. But I
yeah,
wonder
and
if
you'll
his
get a small.
parents. Do you think his parents saw? I mean, you think his parents looked back and said, now I think about it that he was. I mean, because I mean, your kids are in the same house as you. You know.
Hmm. And I
I
can't
mean,
remember. I know he had siblings. Um,
yeah.
yeah, the first ones who usually pick it up, don't you think, are the siblings. If you
Right.
you see, you notice that in all these documentaries, it's like, well, little
Yeah.
Jimmy, like, little Jimmy used to torment me, like he
Yeah.
he like he he butchered my Barbie dolls all the time, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
I heard of several siblings that said uh that they didn't want to be around them, or they were scared
yep,
of them.
exactly. I mean, and and we joke around about it, but dead serious. Well, my sisters, well, when they were alive, we used to talk about that. We have an older brother that passed away in 2011, right?
Hmm.
Now, he'd been out of psych, in and out of psych wards a couple of times when he was a teenager, and he was highly abusive, right?
Yeah.
And we thought, okay, after he went to the Marines, straightened his act up, whatever, but still, there was always something deviant about it, right? And
Yeah.
just the thing is, what we would always say is, you know, what he picked for a living was to become a truck driver. And we're like, my sisters are like, we need to be delving into how many unsolved or missing girls were on his trucking route.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Because he was,
Oh,
we had cats. We had a dog disappear when he lived
yeah.
at home. Um, he was, like I said, always in and out of trouble, juvenile court, um, assault, you name it. He even essayed three of my sisters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we just knew that he had to have done something. You can't just have that pattern of behavior and not act out as an adult,
Right.
you know?
When you have the freedom to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And to pick to be a driver,
Mhm.
you know? Of course, we could say that my grandfather did it, my uncle did, we're truck drivers,
Yeah.
but it was the freedom. He liked that freedom, you know?
Yeah.
And he'd always have a route, and we're like, oh, he did the St.
And
Louis route. Like
and who? I mean, what was he to you?
my brother.
That's your brother. Wow.
Hmm. But he was 15 years older than me.
Yeah.
So he was out of the house right after I was born. My
Yeah.
brother, he was such trouble. My dad had to take him. My parents divorced when I was a baby, and my dad took him so that he couldn't hurt us younger kids.
Was you scared of him? Did you feel? I mean, like
Was
when you were
I?
around
No,
him?
me
When
no,
you?
me no. The age difference was so different with us.
Yeah.
There's a different dynamic with me and him because there was
Yeah.
15 years. And by then he'd already went through juvie, he'd already went through psych treatment, he'd already went through the Marine Corps, and he was married with kids, and his kids were only 4 and 5, 6 years younger than me. So I
Oh.
mostly grew up. I grew up with his boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a different dynamic. He treated me more like uh, his kid than he did his sister. So it
Yeah.
was a different mindset.
Yeah, see, that's the way. See, my sisters was married when I come along, and that's the way they
Hmm.
treated me, more like their, their kid instead of their sister.
Hmm. It's a whole different like dynamic than living under the same roof. And I don't, like I said, I don't recall because I guess he moved out when I was 6 months old.
Yeah.
So he'd
Has
come
your
over
sis
on the weekends.
has your sisters told you stories? I mean, like
Hmm.
that they were really
That's how he ended up in the psych ward.
wow.
Um, but they would always be like, worried if I would don't be alone with him. Don't you know what I mean? They
Yeah,
wouldn't give me deep. When I was small, they wouldn't give me details, but they had to make sure that I was never left alone with him.
yeah.
You know, um, he did stuff like I'll give you an example. He would take my one brother who was 8 years younger than him and hang him like by his overalls. He'd hang him in a closet, um, or he'd hang younger kids, bind them up and put them in the closet, like hanging over the bar, so your arms would
Wow.
stretch. Um, he put matches between people's toes when they were sleeping and lit them.
Wow.
Uh
That's
huh.
cool.
These are just a few things he did. So you could tell, hey, that kid's got to be psycho. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And nobody, I mean, and our parents had like kind of a volatile relationship to a point, you know, but it was still a mom and pop, and you got bicycles for Christmas, and
yeah,
so we can't figure it out. Nobody else turned out like that. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And my
And,
mom like tried to figure it out. She tried her hardest. She
right.
couldn't figure it out, you know. And I think it was his psychiatrist at the time told her, it's like sometimes it happens. Sometimes there's just something genetically wrong with, and there's nothing you can do about it.
There's
So,
something missing. Something didn't develop that was
well,
supposed to.
and she is like, well, back then they didn't have the prenatal care that they have came out later with, right?
Yeah,
Because she had him in 57,
yeah,
1957. So you're thinking, I mean, they didn't really have prenatal vitamins and all that, right?
yeah. That's just, I don't know. I just think that, I don't know. The way they think, I mean, it's so crazy. I mean, their stories that they tell, I mean, they are so bizarre, you
Hmm.
know, that it's just, I mean, their way of thinking and the way that they look at their victims and stuff, I mean, they don't even think about them as being people.
No, but I mean, when he went through his was instead of expressing anger to people, he would hurt them.
Hmm.
Um, and like that's what they figured out. That what they say he had, they believed at first that he was schizophrenic. What they say, paranoid schizophrenia with suicidal tendencies.
Wow.
Like he pushed people and pushed people to attack him,
Wow.
and I guess he suffered from depression and some other things. But you know, that's like I said, he was born in '57, so there's such an age difference.
Yeah, see, when I was born in 66, and,
Hmm.
they didn't even know that my mom was having two babies.
Yep.
They only heard one heartbeat, they didn't even know. I
Yep.
mean, times have changed a lot.
Yeah, my mom had my twin sisters in '63, and they didn't know because they didn't have ultrasounds back then either.
Yeah.
And a lot of
And
times, twins they piggyback. They call it piggyback rhythm.
yeah.
Like your hearts are in sync.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
I
said she
mean,
didn't get an ultrasound until she was pregnant with me, and that was 72, 70. Yeah, she goes, they just had come out with them then.
I mean, when you're a twin, it's, you know, we were raised in two different homes, but I mean, I was always known as, being a twin. Everybody would say, there's one of the twins, always. I always knew I was a twin, and it was
Right?
it was cool. I mean, being a twin.
I guess when my older siblings were growing up, that's what my dad used to say. Hey, twin, other twin. He never called them by their names. He always called them, hey, hey, twin one, other twin.
Mhm.
And he did that for years, even when they were grown.
Wow.
And
Twin and other twin. I'm like, really?
Mhm.
It's almost like he gave us all different names, but I was baby girl, obviously the last. But
yeah.
oh, it was so funny.
Well,
But
people. My dad. You know, when I came along, my dad gave me a nickname. And you know that my family members didn't even know that my real name was Cheryl until I was like 17. They didn't know who they was talking about when they said Cheryl.
that's hilarious.
And you know what my nickname was? This is more hilarious. Shug.
Shug, Shug.
Shug. Yes, that's what they still call me that. All my family still calls me that. They had never called me Cheryl ever.
That's okay. Mine, all my siblings, to this day, call me Jumper.
Call you
Jump.
what? Jump.
Yep, Jump. Get up
Have you
and
been
jump.
reading Pocket Sand? The wife should have some what? Oh, kind of thoughts. Yeah, Pocket Sand was talking about them doing experiments on housewives.
Well,
Oh,
She said, "I've got a tracking device planted in my hubby. I know his every move. Years training, and now he." Oh, how funny! That's funny.
I wouldn't put a tracking device on my husband. Gosh.
if they want to go, let them go. Shit.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. It's why you want to be with someone who don't want to be with
Yeah,
you,
that's the way I am. If you want to go, let them go. Shit.
right?
Oh no!
And then
Well, my husband, I know where he's at every moment of every day. It don't matter. He's like he's I don't know. He's like a woman like that. I'm like,
I
if
mean,
he has to,
I'm so glad my husband used to be one of those that you went to the grocery store. What's taking you so long? Like really?
Mhm.
Really? Are they chickens laying the eggs? Are you milking the cow? Like,
I've heard that
Yeah.
saying before.
oh my God, it's like seriously. Oh no, but like as he got older and they put him on mood stabilizers, it's like, oh okay. Like,
Okay. That's
well, will
funny.
you pick me up this?
Mm.
Mhm.
My my dad was always really sweet to my mom because he's a preacher. I mean, they were really good
Yeah.
people. But before, my mom would tell me stories before when they were young and before
Hmm.
she said that yeah he'd go out drinking all the time, come home drunk, and uh he told her he come home one drunk. She said, "You better if you ever come home drunk again." She goes, "I'm leaving." He goes, "Well, I'll just kill you." So she just get loads of shotgun and hands it to a drunk man. Now ain't that dumb?
Oh,
I can't believe she did that. She wasn't
you
scared of
know,
nothing. She said he
some of the
never come
stories.
home drunk again.
Well, you know, when my parents first got married, right? She would tell a story about when they first got married, and she called home crying to my grandma. My grandma's like, you know what? You made your bed, you lie in it, because this is 55, 56. You know,
Yep,
you thought you were grown. You thought you were grown, right?
yep.
And she goes, "You thought you were grown. You made your bed. You lie in it." She goes, "Well, Mama, he keeps coming home drunk every night."
Mhm.
And she goes, "Well, you know how to cure that, don't you?" And my mom goes, "No." She goes, "Next time he comes in drunk, you take that cast iron skillet and you hit him across the head." She
Yeah.
goes, "You knock him out cold on the kitchen floor." And she goes, "His back will hurt the next day when he wakes up, and he won't be doing that anymore." And
Mhm.
my mom, dumb mother, did it. And she goes,
Oh.
he climbed up the stairs because they lived in an upstairs like duplex, and she hit him with that pan. She said the pan split. She goes, the pan split in half. He
Oh
dropped
my
to the
god.
ground, and he looked at her and he goes, "What was that for?"
Oh Lord.
What
Mhm.
was that for?
See, well, he's
Well,
6'5". He was like 6'5" and went about 280. You know, like.
what what was that for?
And then she said, he goes, "What was that for? Don't you come home smelling like booze from the bar?" Because she was like 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
I could go in. She's like, I could go into labor at any time. And she goes, he stopped drinking.
Can you
She goes,
imagine
go on.
being being in labor and your husband's up there drunk?
Right. Well, back in them days, they didn't let him in. You
Yeah,
know, the
that's right.
husband. You know, but still,
He'd be out in the hallway making a fool of himself. I
hey,
can't
back in the
even.
50s, you pretty much hung out in the bar till your wife had the baby. I don't know.
Mhm.
That's funny.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's back in the 50s. People's just, I don't know, I guess people have figured out ways of getting, uh, changing things, like, uh, critiquing morals, what's morals and standards, and until they've got them almost wiped completely out. And
That
it just
they
it was a simpler time. I mean they had their troubles, war and all that, but I think there was more people that had love for each other, and respect than they do now. People don't respect nobody now.
Well, because there's boundaries. You
Yeah,
established boundaries. Well, if you look at it this way, though, back then, women really didn't have the rights they have now. You know,
yeah,
you were your
yeah.
husband's property until the 70s. You know, oh, I remember my mom telling stories that when she left my dad, it was the abuse got so bad, like domestic violence, right?
Right,
And she said it got so bad that she goes, one of us was going to kill the other just to survive, you know?
right.
Um, she goes, because that was just how she goes, he would have never laid a finger on me, ever. She goes, um, then she said after they had 3 kids, they were waiting out in the car and they waited for an hour and a half and it was cold out. There was no heat in the car, middle of winter. Went into his parents' house. He was supposed to run an errand. And she started honking the horn, and his dad started yelling at him. And she could hear my grandfather yelling at him, "You need to put that woman in her place, or I'll do it for you." you know.
And that,
And she goes, and he came out and he just cold cocked her. She said,
wow,
and that's how
really?
she she goes, married for 4 years, didn't lay a finger on her, you know.
Lord.
She goes, just cold cocked her, and it became easier after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because once they could get
Uh,
by with it, they could, yep, put your woman in her place, and that's how he was taught. He was told he had to do that.
well,
You know?
Joseph's dad told him to do that to me, and that was right up my alley. I just moved Joseph to the side and I took care of it myself. I couldn't I couldn't believe he told him. I mean, he sit there and told him right in front of me. I'm like, put me in my place. I'll show you my place.
How about I put you in yours?
I set him down in a chair, and then I said, "Now get the hell out of my house." I was so mad. I couldn't believe it because I mean I wasn't doing. He just well he had his own problem. He's weirdo, but yeah, I can't imagine. I mean they got by with abuse too because it was allowed, wasn't it?
Yep,
Me and
and and then if you complain to your doctor back then, I mean, at least she told me she tried explaining what was going on, and they
yeah.
basically write you off and like they told her, here you go, and that's how she got hooked on Valium.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
They prescribed her Valium. You get a sedative, so you're not a hysterical woman. Listen to your husband. And then by the 70s, when they finally did split up, they would get so many calls to the house. They were married for like 17 years by then, or 18 years. The police just, knew that it was a regular occurrence. Show up at so and so's house, right? And they would
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
"Well, this is what you're going to do. You're going to listen to your husband because you're his property."
I'll be like, damn
And
if I am. I ain't nobody's property. Mhm.
and that's when my mom said, "Well, then I'll divorce him, and then I won't be his property
Right?
anymore."
Exactly.
That's what the cop told her to do. Cop said, "What you can do is
Well,
divorce him. Then he can't claim that you're his property."
that
So,
that's something
um,
else. I can't believe that women really had to go through that stuff. Crazy.
well, and then as things changed throughout the decades or whatever, they were apart. They ended up remarrying right before they both died.
My mother-in-law and
But they,
father-in-law did that same thing. They divorced and getting married
well,
again.
had everything had changed by then. They had been, I think they got. Well, my dad married twice after that. My mom married twice after that. Anyway, after his last wife, they became friends again, right?
Yeah.
And they were friends for 5, 6 years, 6 years at least. Yeah, and he'd come over. He didn't even drink coffee. He'd come over twice a week, sit and visit with her. If he ever needed anything, my mom would run errands for him. You
Yeah.
know, they're, and they were like best friends. So they said it's just with how times had changed, and it took them stepping away from each other to realize that they were meant to be together.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, when the climate changes, when everything changes, when you mature as a person, he mature, it just changed the whole dynamic. Plus, they didn't have running the household together, all these kids running around, they didn't have
Right.
any of those pressure. They didn't have any of that anymore. But they
I
could
guess that
enjoy
was
being great. They enjoyed being grandparents together, so it worked out.
that's wonderful.
They both came to the birth of my daughter, my first. They
Wow.
couldn't make my dad couldn't make the second birth because he was actually um, he had just had he had cancer by then and he was dying. So he had just went through some treatments, so he couldn't be around the baby. So,
Oh,
but he was really sweet.
that's I had Sean. Sean was 6 months old. My dad died,
Uh-oh.
and but it's almost like he's a part of their lives because my family kept him, alive, telling stories, about him and everything. Sean told me the other day. He said, "I feel like that he was alive because everybody kept him alive." That made me kind of proud.
Aww.
What?
What is it?
You reading chat? I can't see it.
Ginger
My
still there?
eyesight. I
I
don't
might have to
know.
get off
Ginger?
here in a minute, y'all, because my battery's about to die on my phone.
Okay. All right.
It's
Mine
about
too.
mine is too. I gotta
Look,
plug it up.
I got mine plugged up, y'all, because mine did that before on when we was on the telephone together.
When you use your phone on StreamYard, it brings your battery down quick. I guess because your phone's all the way all the time on. I guess it sure did suck my battery down.
This stupid phone I got, I'm telling you what, the battery don't last no time. It's like I've never seen a phone go dead so fast. But
But
okay, that's cool. It was a nice chat.
yeah,
It's so nice
ooh,
to get on here and talk instead of you
most
know.
marriage people would do better in different rooms or homes. You think, Mark?
Oh, I totally believe that. You have to have your own space, and yes, I have a room that is mine just for me because yeah, you have to. I believe that wholeheartedly. People should have their own space
well,
because
there's a reason they say that absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Uh,
right. I mean, because I don't know. I need my space, and I mean, I've always been that way, I guess. Well,
Well, ladies, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to
I
drop down now.
know. But I
Love
mean, Ginger,
catching up
you
with
don't
you.
have you and your husband's been married a long time, and you don't have your separate space, right?
Um, no, the air freshener.
yeah, I was supposed to say you should have known better than that.
No, we do keep to different spaces of the house usually.
Yeah,
Like if he has the living room, I'll be back in the bedroom watching something else, or vice versa. And it's just
right,
because we don't like some of the same things. It's
right.
he goes
Yeah,
he goes off, he goes fishing trips or goes fishing whatever. I'm cool with that. I go do stuff with the girls, do girly things. Um, he
yeah,
doesn't care. It's that's just works for us, man.
yeah. It sounds
Um,
good.
it's
Yeah,
blissful that way.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, me and Joseph are different. I mean, we're totally opposite, and we know it. We know we like opposite things. We don't like the same things that the other one likes don't like. I mean, but it doesn't bother us. We let the other person be themselves and go ahead and have the stuff that we don't like. Instead of complaining about it, I let it. He lets me do what I like to do, and I let him do what he wants to do.
Well, there are some things that's like we'll go like, oh, we'll think of the other person like, oh, this person will, you know, she'll love this show. We'll watch it together, or vice versa. And
Yeah,
it's like, and I was like, hey, I was going to watch that, and he goes, yeah, me too, and we'll decide to watch a certain show together.
yeah. We
And then
want
it's like,
we
It's
Go
like,
ahead.
don't skip ahead in episodes. Don't skip ahead in episodes.
Well, we watched The Walking Dead. We got into that, and that was fun. Watching it with him, it was really fun.
Right now, we're
But,
watching, I think it's 1883 Yellowstone, you know,
Oh,
because
it's,
we both like we both like westerns. We're weird.
you like westerns?
I know. How many
That's
girls
all
like
we.
westerns?
not
My
me.
daddy. That's all we used to get to watch at our house. Westerns.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I watched every John Wayne movie there was. I'm a
Yep.
western girl.
Yeah,
Anyway, I'm gonna hop
Western.
down.
Well, thank you, Ginger, for coming up.
Yeah.
That
Thank
was quick.
you.
She said, I'm gonna hop
Thanks
down
for
quick.
telling us a story.
Yeah.
She tells good stories. She tells it. I skip around. I don't know. I can't remember details.
Well, I appreciate all y'all coming on tonight, coming up, and I had a good time. And maybe we can do it again soon.
Yeah.
And we'll be on Broken's channel next. So if
Since
y'all catch us over there tomorrow night or next night or something, we'll let you know. We never know for sure until the right at the
well,
right time.
I'm sorry for that, y'all. See, I bit off more than I can chew, and I'm admitting it. It's kicking my ass, so I'm trying to fix it to where it's not kicking my ass so bad. I did, boy. I'm telling you, I'm too old for this stuff, y'all. I mean, I'm telling you, the other day when I was talking to MKB, I was about in tears, man. I was so tired and just worn out. I just can't do this anymore. And, but I'll get better. I promise. Poor MKB. She's so sweet. I love you so much.
Thank you.
You're so wonderful.
Well, I try to be.
Well, I love it that I have you there for me.
Yeah,
You make you make a big difference.
thank you.
In that, I mean, the people in this community, they know that too. You're
Mm.
s- you're special.
Well, thank you, Broken. You are too.
My dog is showing out, y'all. You ought to see.
I'm here.
It's the other dog. It's Joseph's dog. That's
Uh,
his. She's never done this before. She's trying to get him to come in here and get her. What are you doing, little chick? Oh, what's the matter? Listen at her. Isn't that cute as can be? She's the one that's so smart. She's so cute. What is the matter, baby? Well, tell them she wants to be on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, well, tell them you want to be on YouTube. Tell them. You can tell them on the phone. Yeah, tell them right here on the phone. Okay. She's telling y'all, see how smart she is?
She's ready to be on YouTube.
Yeah, she's ready to be on YouTube too. Yeah, she's going to just tell it. She's a Brindle. She's a Brindle. She was the first Brindle Shih Tzu born in the United States.
Mm,
Brindle dog. They're mixed colors.
yeah.
Yeah, and she's a Brindle one. She's
Mm,
my baby. Her daddy was show dog. She's so smart. She's just really smart. She's just amazing. But she talks to us. Yeah, I know. Yes, she sure does talk. She's always quiet, isn't she?
yeah.
Tonight, first night she's done that. What's the matter? Well, get out. Get back.
She wants to talk. She
Oh,
wants some attention.
no, you know what she's wanting? I forgot I set my dinner over here beside on the nightstand.
Oh, she wants some of your food.
She is telling me what she wants. You're not getting it. Too bad. So sad. She is a glut. Oh my God, this dog can eat. I swear, I she should weigh about 300 pounds. She wants to eat all the time. Oh hush.
Mhm.
They're like my little kids, I swear. I don't know what I'd do without them. Listen to it. So I don't get lonely, you see why? What? You're not getting my dinner. No. She's so cute, y'all. Oh, America's favorite dog. They have this contest. She come in 5th place on the internet. I mean, as many entries they had, she came in 5th place. That's
Wow.
that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, she's the one that can detect seizures.
that's good.
Yeah. She's Joseph's dog, and that's what was so weird about it. When I was going into that seizure, she just stuck her nose right to my nose and touched me. I mean, touched my nose and stopped that seizure. She sure did. Looked me straight right in the eyes, and it stopped that seizure. I haven't had one since either. Goofy butt. Are you a pretty girl? Tell him. Say bye bye. Say we're going night night now.
Yep, she got to say toodles now.
You gotta
Got to
say
teach her to
toodles.
say
Can you
toodles.
say toodles? You ready?
1, 2,
1, 2, 3.
toodles.
Toodles.
Good
Toodles.
night, everyone.
Good
We'll see.
night.
We'll see y'all again, maybe tomorrow or the next day. We'll see y'all one day.
Hopefully tomorrow.
All right. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Bye bye.
Love y'all guys. I love all of y'all to pieces.
Good night, everyone.